to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll call the electors meeting to order. First order is verification of proper public notice.
Meeting was properly noticed and published.
Okay, did you all get a copy of the budget?
Looks like this.
Are there any questions before we start? Okay, we again have a balanced budget. We have to, by statute, have a balanced budget, and that includes revenues to $1,982,472, and expenses at that same number. Excuse me, and then transfer to reserves, $34,239. The levy increase would be 0.43 in the amount of $521,402.50. Any questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the levy in the amount of $521,402.50.
And that can be anybody who is an Oakland resident, not just anybody who sits up here.
Right.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the levy in the amount of $521,402.50. All in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, wait a minute, not by saying aye. Raise your hand, please. Including you.
8, 9. Okay, I have 9.
Okay, opposed? Raise your hand.
Okay, I have none.
Okay, then I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the electors meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we'll call the regular town board meeting to order. Verification of notice again.
It too was also properly noticed and published.
Any public comment on an item not on the agenda? Okay, we'll get a police chief's report.
I'll speak loud, my voice carries. Overall, I've been out for a few weeks, as everybody knows. I'm back in the saddle again. Nothing major really going on. Both boats have been put away, winterized and all that kind of good stuff, so the boating season's obviously done. Officer Foyt now is in training with 2 FTOs for road patrol training. Process is moving along satisfactorily at this point, so I'm hoping to get him on the road, eventually flying solo as one of our new road officers. Upcoming 9-day gun deer season is upon us this Saturday. Just want to remind everybody, rifles are prohibited for use in the town of Oakland during the 9-day gun deer season and any other authorized DNR gun deer season, which would be the holiday hunt and the antlerless only season right after the 9-day. I'm going to be sending out a memo to the county sheriff's department. If they have contact with anybody using a rifle for deer hunting, they'll have to forward it to us since it's our local ordinance, and then I'll follow up on that. Last year I issued 2 citations for people hunting with rifles. They were people that were local residents, and they admitted, yeah, I know you can't hunt with rifles, but I just took a chance. That chance cost you $250. Thanks for playing the game.
Bruce, we talked about changing that at one point in time because we're like the only township
Yeah,
around.
we are the only township that does it, and I don't know of any others in the state of Wisconsin. I am quite honest, I'm surprised we haven't had more blowback on it, but nothing. I'm not gonna look for a problem to fix if it's not out there, so. That's something for the board, if they want to discuss it in the future, they certainly can.
I think we just
consider adding to a regular-
I think we just forgot, because we actually talked about it a little bit last time you reported this a year ago.
Before the gun season, before I left for Michigan, yeah.
Is there any way we can do a temporary order and allow it?
No,
No.
it's gotta be,
No,
It's
it's
an
gotta
ordinance?
be, it's gotta be an ordinance change.
ordinance, it's gotta go through posting and all the other fun stuff.
Okay.
So, that's something for you folks. I'm neutral on the whole subject. At this point, you want my input, you're my offices down the hall. Other than that, I really don't have a whole much more for you.
Okay, any questions for Bruce?
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Go hide in my cubbyhole.
Okay, road supervisors report.
Good evening.
Hello.
Jeff?
First thing, tomorrow morning, they're coming to do the shop floor with that epoxy and all the equipment will be out for, till Friday, late afternoon. So if you see all the trucks and everything, the squad's already out, so, just so you're aware. Salt brine, if it snowed, don't like snow, if it snowed tomorrow, we're ready. So, we got the equipment on the one truck. Got everything hooked up this afternoon on the supply tank. Just a matter of making a phone call and getting the stuff. Talked to him today and whenever, he'll be right out with the salt brine.
Is that what that tank was on the trailer for?
Yep. That holds 3,000 gallons.
Yeah. Okay, good.
How many applications will that 3,000 gallons get us, do you think?
If I can't really figure applications, it's gonna be a trial period.
Okay.
I'm guessing the first few times it's gonna be a lot lighter than normal, but anticipated when I talked to the guy at county, if we had all our trucks running it, that 3,000 would last us the year, so.
Okay,
But we only got the one running it. so.
right, okay.
And that's basically for the lake roads,
Yeah.
correct?
Trying to be a little more environmentally friendly and preserve our lake there.
And no more word on the door for the salt shed?
No. Last time he responded to my email was end of October, but I did call the partner in the business, and he said they're having problems with getting the supply because it was a different type of order than what was just basically a special order, and it's taking a little time to make. Kind of like when we had the trust problem with COVID, so.
Yeah, this COVID thing has slowed down a lot of manufacturing.
Yes, yes it is.
Have you done anything on quotes for a new truck? Or are you waiting for the budget to get approved?
I have talked to one salesman and put the feelers out on what we were looking for, and he was gonna get some information together and go from there.
You talked to George, though, for
Yes.
Christiana. What did they have to pay for theirs?
Total, it was like 183 for everything.
Okay. Outfitted?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Questions for Jeff?
You're ready for winter, right?
We're never really ready for winter. I mean, I don't think anybody really is, but.
Oh, did you pump the sumps on the Lake Road?
No, wait for Forrest to slow down. He's starting to slow down a little bit,
Okay,
because we can still, even if the ground freezes, we can still get them all pumped.
right,
So,
okay.
but he's willing and eager to get in here when we can.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, we'll move on to clerk treasurer's report.
I'm going to try and speak as quickly as I can. Election day, I just want to give you guys a brief update. I have a copy of the tape from our voting machine, and we had an Oakland record of 2,169 voters. That was confirmed by Alan, one of our chiefs who has been here for a long time. That's the highest number of people that have ever voted in Oakland, so it was very busy. About 1,400 of those were absentee ballots that we had stored in the town hall securely, and so there was about 725, 750 people that came in on the day. It was a very busy day. It was a very long day, but it was a very good day. The voters were very happy to be here. Some of them had to wait in line for 10 minutes. Some of them had to wait in line for an hour. At the line's height, it was an hour long. It was out the door to the dumpster and on the other side of the Public Works building. So it was quite a sight to see, but it was a very busy day. We definitely could not have gotten through it without our election workers. I think that's Richard in the back. Richard is one of our election workers. He's one of the, I think by the end of the day, we must have had 20, maybe 25 come in helping us, count ballots and get everything squared away. We were here till 1:15 in the morning, the next morning. And again, not complaining, but just letting you guys know it was a long, busy day, but we got through it. Everything worked great. We had one minor machine issue that I'm going to have to follow up with the county clerk and when it comes up for its inspection, but glad it's over. The deadline for the recount, if it's going to happen, is tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The state law says that any aggrieved party that wants to have a recount has until 5 o'clock the day after all the counties are certified, so that's tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and they have to prepay the expenses, which are estimated at $8 million. So we will know if there's a recount tomorrow at 5. If there is, it will probably start on Saturday, and the only day that the county will take off would be Thanksgiving, because by law, you're allowed to take a day off. But I don't want to speculate on when or what's going to happen, or just because we don't know if it's going to happen. So overall, really good day. We had 92 people register in person, so a lot of traffic in, a lot of traffic here. But everybody was really great. No issues, at least that I know about. So it was nice to have that one in the books. I personally am not hoping for a recount, but that's just my personal opinion. But overall, good day. And if anybody has any questions about anything election related, I'm happy to answer those questions after the meeting, of course. The Plan Committee terms update, there's a separate item on the agenda for that towards the bottom, so I'm not going to talk about that a whole lot. We can talk about that more when we get there. But then the next item under my report is potentially closing the town hall for property tax collection. This is something that people in my clerk circles are talking about, my colleagues are talking about. It's something that if we're going to do, we should do it now just so that we have time to get the message out that the town hall would be closed for property tax collection. I certainly don't think it's the worst thing in the world. We have a drop box. It was very highly utilized during the election. Almost every one of those ballots that came back into the town hall that was a mail ballot, people dropped off. Very few came back in the mail. So a lot of people know that it's there. The only hiccup or only drawback that I see is that it would be tough for us to get receipts out to people that don't include a self-addressed stamped envelope. We've required that in the past in order to get a receipt. Just attach an envelope to it with a stamp, and we'll happily send you one. The workaround to that is if people could wait, or if people could wait, we could mail them one. We can certainly email them one right away if they have a computer. If you directed us to, we could do a receipt without a stamped envelope. But I'm just, the reason that I asked Gene about this is I'm just concerned just with the surge that we're seeing in coronavirus. And I'm not trying to be Chicken Little or anything like that, but we did have over the 2 weeks of in-person absentee voting, we had about 500-600 people in the town hall that Susan and I had to interact with, and we're happy to do that. Absolutely, we love to see you. I love to see everybody here, but with the increased numbers, it really is a safety issue, and we have already had a couple of employees who have been out due to COVID, and I don't want to see that number go up. So I'm certainly a little flexible on the beginning date. I just picked the 7th because I think it's a Monday. We could do it starting the 14th, just so we could do that, but we don't have a whole lot of foot traffic in the building. Like today, one person came in, and that's fairly normal. So I don't see the need to shut the building down like right now. But with the amount of people that I know will be in here for property taxes, I see that as a potential issue. And Ted and Jean have done property tax collection, so they at least know from personal experience what it entails. And I think you guys did it primarily through the Dropbox. I think that was before I got here.
No, we
Or
kept
were you
the
here?
No, we kept the office open.
Okay.
But the Dropbox was used a lot.
Yeah, we used,
And it's a secure Dropbox.
Mhm.
I really don't see any reason that that'd be a problem. We would have to empty it. I think,
I
toward
think-
the end of the year, that year, we were emptying it twice a day.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We came in on weekends and did the same thing,
The
so.
only thing that was a problem is some people would come and not know about it. So we had an issue with trying to keep envelopes someplace out
Right.
there.
Yeah.
If you had, they blew away.
Right. I think what we could do, I mean, it's got the new sign attached to it right now. I would certainly put it, if this is something that the board decides to do, I would certainly put it on our website. I have the wording of a press release in my head right now that I could certainly put on a piece of paper, send that to both of the local newspapers. We have, for those of you who remember, there's a big easel that we used for voting. I could put that outside with instructions on it. And every tax bill gets that trifold insert in there, and I have a whole section of it devoted to property tax collection. So I can change that. I mean, that's ready to go. All I'd have to do is just change it to whatever, if anything is decided, to whatever is decided, and it's ready to go tomorrow. So I think notifying people is important. We're always going to have some folks that don't get any of them, and they're going to come expecting to pay the bill. But
A lot of people come, and I know they want to do it in person and get
Yeah,
the
they
receipt
really
in
do.
person.
Yeah.
That's going to be a little sticky. I'm
What
not so
I
sure to
think-
jump right into this one.
I think you could put on that sign, please leave a self-addressed stamped envelope, an email address, or a text number, because you can just take a picture.
picture and send it to
Take a
'em.
picture and text it,
absolutely.
if you want a receipt.
Yeah, and I'm happy to do that. I mean, I would be using it Susan and I would be using our personal phones. I have no problem with that, first of all. I didn't even think about that, but I think that's a great idea too,
Yeah,
because,
everybody has one or the other,
well,
Well,
except
except our fearless leader.
except for a few dinosaurs.
But I think it is something that it's prudent to at least have the conversation about now, because if we were to talk about this in December, it would be too late.
what about, the other thing that a lot of people did was paid taxes and dog licenses.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to deal with that?
It's the same thing. I mean, a lot of times we only
issue
get
the-
dog licenses through the Dropbox, and they automatically have an envelope attached to them. So a lot of it's done through the mail anyways. And I know that when I first started, this is almost 2 years ago, but when I first started, there used to be a pile of dog licenses that needed to get mailed back because they didn't include an envelope. I just mailed them back because I was tired of looking at
Yeah.
the pile of them.
But
'cause
we
they
had a
were like-
lot of people that came in and
I've seen a
wanted
lot
to
of
do
people
both
come in and
things.
Mhm.
I'm a little, I guess I'm in favor of saying we encourage you to use the Dropbox due to this, and, if you have a question or have a need for a receipt and a dog license, we'll be here. I'm not sure I'm wanting to close.
I don't know if I like the
But the dog
idea
licenses
of
aren't due
closing.
until March, correct?
Right.
Technically, yes. The
But
late
just-
fee for the dog license doesn't start until April 1st.
I mean, we have 2 clerks on staff. That's a great service this township has.
Yeah, but
People
we're
want
talking
somebody
It's
to
about
true.
COVID.
I'll say this.
I
that's-
know it's COVID.
You're
I
right, it's
understand
true,
that.
but if we're both out, then who's gonna handle tax collection?
Mike,
That's my concern.
If-
And not that you guys can't do it, because you did it, but
I get
if
that.
we're not here,
I get that.
that's my concern, is somebody's gotta collect taxes.
if one of the people in here got COVID, we'd have to close the office down.
Right. But that's no different than anything else in the world right now. I mean, I understand it's a
So
safety
why
issue.
not try to head that off?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, we can, I'm just saying, just to close it for this stretch of time, seems a little, can we work with the timelines or the hours during the day where someone's here if someone needs help? That's what I'm saying.
Well, we would still be here.
Yeah, we're not closing.
I mean, we're not, that's the
not
thing, we're
closing
not
the
closing the office. Like, this wouldn't be us working from home. This would be us being here, but the doors being locked.
Okay, but, so I
And
knock
so
on
if
the door
somebody
and
needed
what?
help,
Right.
they would have to call us, like, even if they're in the parking lot. Like, that's what I'm envisioning.
And you can put that at the bottom.
Yeah.
If you really need help,
Give us a
call.
call.
Call, we're inside.
And we did have a few people prior to absentee voting. I can't remember when all the buildings were locked down throughout the state. We did have a few people who came that we couldn't let them in because that was the governor's
Right.
order. And they did call, and we dealt with it
As
as
long
best
as somebody
we could.
can get a service if they need it, if
Oh,
they
yes.
come to the hall,
Oh, yes.
and they can call and say, look, I need help, can you come to the door and let me in, and you can help them, fine. If we're just say go away, then it's just odd.
Well, I don't think that's what you're saying.
I'm just saying, is
You're
there a way
just-
that
if
someone
you-
can
If
call
you came
and,
here to pay your property taxes, drop them in the
right?
box.
If they want a dog license, they can get in one, they can come in and get one, or you can't, or what?
That year Ted and I collected taxes out here, I'll bet you 75% of them went in the drop box. Because that's what we kind
I
of,
don't know, seemed like there were a lot of people.
well, there were a lot of people, but there's a lot of people come in, they want to
You
come
know,
in to pay their taxes.
I'm all for being safe and doing what we can to restrict, but let's create an avenue where people can get help too. We got 2 full-time clerks here.
Yeah, I guess I'm in line with Jimmy, just, as long as we carefully say, if you do need help or have questions, call us.
At the bottom, just
If
give them the
need be.
number.
Yeah, we'll be here and we'll be happy. to
And you
help
might be able to talk through it to most people, and if somebody needs to come in, there's still a glass door,
There's a question back here.
Guys, what would be the turnaround on the receipts? Because some of us depend upon those receipts to certify like house insurance,
Mhm.
taxes and et cetera.
I mean, if you sent an envelope, it would be at the behest of the post office. I know you have an email address, Barb, so it would be a business day. So like, if you dropped it in on a Friday, obviously you wouldn't get it till Monday, but the normal turnaround for us is a business day anyways, so I wouldn't see that changing at all.
Okay.
It's a good question, by the way.
Well, I mean, if you want action on this today?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I would actually, because I have a brochure that's gonna go to all the taxpayers that
All right.
if it needs to change, then I have to change it, and a month from now wouldn't work. It's not enough time, because bills might actually be out by then.
When do you
Can we-
expect to get the taxes from the county?
Can we amend it to say,
We can
You-
make a
you can
motion to do
subject,
whatever we want.
subject to the town clerk's discretion or deputy? That way, when somebody calls you, you could potentially let somebody in or whatever. I don't know if it matters, I'm just saying.
You can do whatever you want. I mean,
That,
you're the board, so this is just my suggestion. If you want to, the one thing that I did mention at the beginning is that if you wanted to shorten it by a week to that time span, December 14th it's another Monday. That's another, I guess we'd be open for another week then. To answer your question, I'm not 100% sure when tax bills will come out, but we have until the 21st by state statute to get them out. It's usually before then. It's usually a week before then. So it might be, the week of the 7th we mail them. It might be the week after that we mail them. But by law, we have to get them out by the 21st.
I like the idea of having the ability to make an appointment. So I'm going to make a motion that we not use the word close, but we use a restricted word by appointment. So if someone wants to come in and make an appointment, they can have the ability to do that. Other than that, I think that would help with your walk-in traffic and all that. So that would be my motion.
Then you're going to have, so they're supposed to call and make an
If they
appointment?
need help and they want to talk to somebody, they can call in and say, I want to make an appointment and come in and get my services done.
Well, we can have that on the board.
Sure.
On the bulletin board outside.
Sure.
Too.
I just don't like the word closed. I mean, again, we have 2 full-time employees that are supposed to be helping our citizens, and, They should have an ability to do that. And I like the word appointment then, if you want to do it that way.
Well, my entire office has been closed since March. Not really closed, but I've
So
been
is mine.
working at home since March. There's really no difference. I'm a
So is the DMV and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm a public employee.
I understand. And I'm full-time working
so
with students, so I understand.
I know, it's not.
So how are you wording this motion, Jimmy?
My motion is to not use the word close, but through appointment, so people can have the ability to make an appointment
Starting on what day?
on December 14th.
Jimmy, what if we turned around and said that we are requesting you to pay your property taxes by the Dropbox? We will, however, be open for appointments if you have questions
Yeah.
or problems.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
That's, I think that's, because I don't think we want to say, you got to get an appointment to pay your taxes.
I agree, because he's going to get inundated with people
Yeah.
making appointments.
No, that's
So
my
I think
intention. Exactly.
we want to couch that to say, due to the COVID-19, we are going to encourage everyone to pay their taxes by either the mail or using the Dropbox, and you can get a receipt by email, by letter. However, if you have questions or concern, you may call, and set up a time to
Right.
talk or meet.
Make an
with-
appointment, right? That's my intention, yes.
And if you're all right,
That's my motion.
okay. You got that? Okay. Well, that's.
Do I
that's
have
where
a
we-
second? You made it, you seconded it, is that how this works?
Sure, I'll do that.
You reworded it?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried.
So can I be clear, what am I doing then?
You are,
Because I want to make sure that, because this is going to be communicated to every medium possible, I want to make sure the message is right.
due to COVID-19 restrictions, we are asking people to please pay your property taxes by using the U.S. mail
Or the Dropbox.
or the Dropbox, enclosing a self-addressed stamped envelope or an email or
Text number.
text number for your receipt. If, however, you have questions or issues, please call and we'll set up time where we'll.
I just said, please call. You don't even have to say make an appointment.
All right, follow-up then. Am I locking the door?
Yes.
Yes.
I would think so.
Okay, I just want to be clear on that, just so I know what to do.
And put a sign outside, just like you did
Okay.
for early voting.
I got
You
it.
can put all the information on
Yeah,
that.
just have that big
bulletin.
board outside with
Yep.
just exactly
Okay.
what you've sent in the mailing, what you're putting in the papers. all of
Okay.
that.
I got
If
it.
you want,
Yeah.
you can send that to me in the morning and I'll.
I probably will.
Chris, and to start on the 14th.
Yes, I got the 14th,
Okay.
yes.
will
got
sell
14.
copies of my key.
Okay. Did we skip item C?
We did.
We did, that's for later.
Oh,
It'll be right now.
it's right now.
The operator's
operator's
license.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
did skip item C. Yeah, that'll be for right now.
Got discussion and possible action on the operator's license for Deborah Kulo.
Deborah's background check came back clean. I saw no issues with her operator's license.
I'll make a motion to accept the operator's license for Deborah Kulo.
I'll second it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Discussion and possible action on a contract with environmental services. And this is for the portable toilet out at the boat launch.
Yep.
Does this have an amount on it?
I didn't see it.
It doesn't. I actually had to email her for it. There are no changes at all. It's the exact same amount as last year's was.
And what, that was $100?
I think, yeah, it's $100 a month.
I'll make a motion to accept the long-term portable toilet agreement to be put down at the landing, to be the, what is it, cost the same as last year?
Yep.
Do we pay it early again?
No, we pay it monthly. They send us a bill, so they just,
We get a discount if we pay it early.
that's the next one.
That's the next,
Okay,
We're getting there.
all right.
Is that the
Disregard.
Humane Society one?
Yes,
yeah.
Oh, all right.
We always do that.
yes.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the contract with environmental specialists for the portable toilet at the boat launch. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Discussion and possible action on a revised draft of a developer's agreement. Basically, it hasn't changed a lot from the last one that was done, which was 15 years ago. But we did think it was prudent to have Attorney Bailing go through it, make sure everything is up to snuff. And Ted and I went through it a couple times and made a couple changes, or suggested a couple changes that were fine with her, so. Did you guys all get a chance to go through it?
I read it. I didn't notice, I wasn't able to notice the changes from last month to this month, though, because there was no highlights or crossouts. Were there anything that was added from last month?
There wasn't a red line there.
Nothing really added.
There were
Correction of spelling
there
or
were two typos
Yeah, two typos.
that we fixed.
That was it?
Otherwise, we just confirmed a couple of things with Mary to
Right.
make sure that we were on the right understanding. And then the way the signatures were prepared
Yeah, the
changed to be proper, that it's the developer signs first before we sign and stuff. But other than that, no.
I took a quick look at it and I thought, yeah, I mean, this looks good.
Yeah.
Developer's paying for all the horizontals, that's the way it should be.
Yep.
That's the way it gotta be, and it's not our cost, we're giving them the right to develop.
Yeah. That's why it wasn't lined out, because it was
Okay.
two typos.
So legal already approved it, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the subdividers agreement as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the subdividers agreement. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Discussion and possible action to approve a variance for a reduced setback at W9370 US Highway 12, parcel number 022-0613-1811-034.
Don, you want to step to the microphone, you or Natasha, and explain what it is you want to do? And
Sure. What we're asking for is to reduce the setback from 200 feet to 180 feet. Currently, all the other houses on that road are 180 feet or closer. And we're just asking that we can build just a little bit closer. What that'll do is just expand the size of the house that we can build there. And that's what I'm asking for.
Planning Committee.
we reviewed it, and Don made the point that almost all of his neighbors likewise have reduced setbacks. He's got a tough issue because he's right next to some wetlands and a pond. And after discussion back and forth, we agreed on 20 feet, and the Planning Committee recommended unanimous.
Would your driveway still come off at 12?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a-
actually a shared driveway with the neighbor.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it'd still be in the same spot.
Because
It's
getting a new
existing-
driveway on that highway is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shared with the existing driveway that's already there,
Okay.
right top. So I would move that we approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the variance for reduced setback at W9370 US Highway 12. Any further discussion? Questions for Don? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Don, I have a sheet from the county that I'm required to fill out, just explaining to them what happened. I'll fire this off to them tomorrow morning, and then you'll be in their hands and all done with us.
Alrighty, thank you much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, discussion and possible action on Resolution 2020-4 to create an operational procedure regarding the Plan Committee appointments.
Where's that?
Did y'all get a chance to look that over? Basically, we never had a written procedure in the past, and I think it's important that we do have one.
Fine to me, I read it, it looked all right to me.
I would move acceptance of the resolution 2024 regarding operational procedure for Plan Committee.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the resolution to create an operational procedure for, regarding the Plan Committee appointments. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item, discussion and possible action on a resolution 2020-3 to remove parcels from prime ag land.
Do you want me to?
Go ahead.
If you recall, last year we found that there were 2 lots up here off from 18 and A that were in the ag preservation that were in fact in our urban service area, and we requested the county to remove those, and we went through the hearing process, and in I think it was July or August, I forget which now, the county granted that and put the items in our urban service area, but wouldn't rezone them at that point, and they're on day one. I've now been notified, and I don't know whether Susan's gotten it or not, that the property owner wants to make the change from A1 to R1. And a part of the process of going from A1 to R1 is that the town can prove that we have exceeded 75% of our developable lots have been built upon. Susan did a review of that, and we are at basically 80% developed of our lots, so that's allowable. The owner has to have contiguous property that will remain in the A1 district, which equals 35 acres. They have 2 parcels which are across on the north side of Highway 18 that are each about 18 acres, and we say that we don't count the road as a break, so those are contiguous. And the last thing that is necessary is for us as a town board to declare that these parcels are not vital to our agricultural growth. And that's pretty straightforward. The total property in question is 60-some-odd acres. 20-some of it is wetland, which is not buildable, can't be basically touched. There's some of it that is zoned R2. We no longer allow R2 in our urban service area, so that needs to go to A1 or to R1. And then the other 2, that's 33 and 8 acres. So we're really rezoning 40 acres roughly that would come out of A1 to R1. There's only one other exception. All the rest of the property in our urban service area is already an existing R1. There's one plot that's R2, but there is nothing going on there. So we just need to pass this so that when it comes to the Plan Committee, they have this information, and we have made this determination that this is not important agricultural land. It's not in our ag plan. It's in our urban service area. And the property, while it's farmed a little bit right now, it's really being farmed by a rental. It's not self-sustainable, as in we couldn't turn around and sell it as a farm and have it be really sustainable. So that's why we have this resolution in front of us. So needless to say, I would move adoption of Resolution 2020-3, reclassifying as prime properties for residential.
Where is it?
18 and A, right here.
Any questions for Ted?
I don't care, yeah. Everybody okay with it? I'll second.
You seconded, Jim? Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve Resolution 2020-3 regarding to remove some parcels from prime ag land. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next item, discussion and possible action on a resolution to support the proposed fire station addition or a townwide resolution. Or, I'm sorry, a townwide referendum. We're having a fire commission meeting on Thursday, and I have an item on that agenda. We have an agreement with the town of Christiana to reimburse them for the pizza pit property that they purchased. And in that agreement, it says referendum.
This agreement here, the Cambridge Fire and EMS District Agreement, number 5.
What's that?
So it says, each municipality will need to pass a referendum approving such action. In the event the referendum of any municipality shall fail, that this agreement shall be null and void. Is that the agreement you're referring to?
Yeah. And the discussion at Thursday's meeting is going to be to amend that agreement to include referendum/resolution. So my suggestion is we table this until December and see what action is taken Thursday night.
All the townships had to sign this agreement, right?
Right. Yeah, all 5 municipalities signed that agreement. Had we done a little more research at the time, which we didn't consult anybody. We talked to Baird. When was that, Mark? Last month, wasn't it? And they're the ones that said, well, you don't really need to have a referendum because it's ultimately the board's decision on what they're going to do anyway. So
So do you want a motion to table this to the December meeting?
that's what I'd like to see, but if anybody else has an objection.
I would move to table.
I would second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to table the discussion and action on a resolution in support of the fire station. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Discussion and possible action on a contract with the Jefferson County Humane Society.
This is the one where we get a discount if we pay,
Okay,
if we
you
pay
know-
it all in advance, so.
I'm always big on this.
So, assuming this gets approved, then I will fire the check off in January, but it'll be a one-shot deal, and it'll be I think the discount's like $100, so,
And that's the one that's staying the same as last year also.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
It's $125.
$125.
Right.
okay.
May I ask just a question?
Shoot.
Is that all right? I'm just wondering, that if the board in December passes the resolution, what is the deadline for petitioning for a referendum? For putting a referendum question on the April ballot?
I can't answer that question at this point.
And I can't either because I've actually, in my career, I've never actually had a municipal referendum to do, so I could look that up, but I don't know what the answer to that is.
Could you look?
Well,
that up?
there's two answers we need to get, and I'm going to try to get those before Thursday's meeting. And one is, what's the deadline on getting, a petition together, and how many have to be on it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean, those are two things. We probably should have asked Baird that night, which we didn't.
And I guess I have a third question. What is the cost of putting a referendum question on that April ballot?
Also a question I can't answer, the county does the programming of our elections for us, so I would ask them. I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot, but I don't know, so I don't wanna give you a number, because I don't know. It could be a couple $100, it could be $1,000, I have no idea. But I can very easily find that out.
Okay, and how can you communicate that to the public then? Or to
I mean, I can let Gene know, I mean, I can,
we-
or
yeah, I mean, it's,
somebody, I mean, it's.
I can let you know, I mean, it's, so far, you're the only person to ask, so if more people ask, I'm happy to let them know, but,
Mark, do you know if there's a what your deadline is for the referendum? You don't? Because we would have a big issue if, again, we would miss that deadline, and we would want to use the referendum, and that deadline is passed because we're in December.
Exactly.
That's a problem. I don't
Well,
know what
when do
that
they
deadline
print,
is.
when do they print ballots at the county?
April.
For April election.
Let me think when absentee ballots come out. So it's the first Tuesday in April. They would have to print them in March sometime.
Okay.
So, and I'm guessing the first part of March.
The bigger cost is the marketing on a referendum. And,
Not so much the question on the ballot, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
the question on the ballot, I don't think is a big cost. But I don't know what that is. Dawn?
Kind of along those same lines, I had a question, and I had made some notes, I thought, from an article in the paper several weeks ago. I thought that the board meetings for Lake Mills, which I had at November 10th, Christiana, November 10th, Rockdale, at November 16th, and this one, I thought that these 4 municipalities that I just referenced were going to vote about not having a referendum in the spring. So did I misinterpret that article in the paper that gave those dates, and that what those 4 municipalities were going to do?
They were going to consider a referendum or a resolution.
And what did they decide, those 3 municipalities that were before this one tonight?
Lake Mills is the only one that is going to postpone that resolution until the April annual meeting.
They're going to postpone a resolution?
Yeah, they're going to do the resolution at the April annual meeting. Christiana has approved the resolution, but there again, we got to make sure that it complies with that agreement we got.
And what about Rockdale, who met last
I
night?
did not talk to Julie since their meeting last night. Her thought when I last talked to her is probably the same as mine. Wait until December and decide at that time.
I guess the question becomes, what happens if the deadline's already passed?
What deadline?
To get a question on the ballot for a
I would-
referendum?
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't
Tony,
think
because
that would be
Believe, yeah.
till
Because-
probably March.
all your other offices and stuff, all that stuff is yet to do after the first
Yeah,
of the year.
I don't know,
so
I'm just asking.
I
Yeah.
have to believe that it's probably, we're looking at early next year, I would think, but Chris can probably figure that out tomorrow.
Or right now? Is he searching?
Well,
agree with that, Ted, because I know that, you know, if you're considering running for office.
right, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, all that,
Right.
you've got. until-
January.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why I'm
It
thinking.
wouldn't be any earlier than that. I mean,
Yeah.
You
I
wouldn't
can't-
think.
Yeah, I can't believe that it would be earlier than that date, so.
And the,
Alternative is if you want to hold a special meeting.
Right,
Right.
if we have to, yeah, we can do that.
and the village is doing a referendum?
Yes, we are. We are doing a referendum.
And just so that I'm clear on what you have said, that there was a financial consultant that said it was not legally necessary to proceed
Correct.
without a referendum?
Because it's ultimately the board's decision to make.
Well, they didn't know what this agreement was, obviously, because this agreement says something different.
But even if the referendum comes back, it's still our decision.
Correct.
It's still an advisory referendum.
Correct.
It's not a do or die referendum like a school district referendum or something like that. It is advisory.
But there hasn't been a legal opinion sought, am I correct?
On,
On whether or not, in order to authorize a $6.5 million expenditure, there needs to be a referendum, whether it's binding or advisory.
the legal opinion was we can do a referendum or a resolution.
But that was from a financial consultant?
Correct. But they deal with this stuff all the time. Okay, anything else on that? Okay, Humane Society. Discussion
sorry,
of possible action on a contract.
Did
with
we
Jefferson
vote
County
on that,
Humane
Chris?
Yes, we did.
To vote?
What's that?
Yes, we did.
voted
We
to
voted on the
table?
Humane side already.
Okay.
Yes.
We did vote on it,
Yep.
or we just got a motion?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't have
We
a
didn't-
vote. I'm sorry.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. I'm sorry. I thought I
You
had
got a
a,
motion, Tom seconded it.
yep.
That's right, yep.
To postpone
Before we
till
got interrupted.
December.
Yeah.
We had discussion.
Yeah, we had a discussion, then we went back.
We had lengthy
I have a
discussion.
motion, but I don't have a vote.
Okay, any further discussion? And the motion is to pay it all in advance?
Mhm.
Get the discount?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Got it.
Okay, discussion and possible action on approving the 2021 draft budget. Again, we had .43, I believe it was the,
The increase? Yes, it's a 0.43% increase.
And nothing is substantially changed from what we reviewed at the last meeting?
No.
In this final copy?
Nope. There were, the only numbers that I found, I think, if I can remember correctly, the final trash and recycling numbers are in there because they're not yellowed.
Right.
There was one other thing, and I can't, what did we talk about? There was something else we talked about.
the taxes were not right on the original draft that we did.
Yeah, that's right.
We were $50,000 short on
Yep.
that.
Right.
And the other one was moving some money from reserve for Jeff's truck.
Right.
We ended up with a balanced budget of, what was it, 1,000,009 something.
Yeah.
$1,982,472.69.
Yep. Otherwise, nothing else changed. Everything else is the same.
Okay.
Do you need a motion to approve the draft budget? Is that what you're saying? I'll make a motion to approve the draft budget.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's made and seconded to approve the 2021 draft budget. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Excuse me,
Oh,
can
you got a
ask
question back here?
first?
Shoot.
Before you vote? I think this is the time to ask a question. Is it possible to put the more detailed version up online next year so that it can be looked at? I kept looking online to see if I could find it, to read it before tonight, and then finally I saw that when this was finally available online, that it was here, it wasn't gonna be handed out. I remember the days when it was handed out, and we could get a little, look at it. But the bottom line is, it would be nice to have it online, if you guys could put it online, so that we could punch it up and look at it before we get here.
If you ask me for that, I'm happy to do, I can email it to you, I can put it online, it's no problem at all.
We don't?
Yeah, to answer your question, yes,
Okay. that's
but
all.
if like you didn't, if you needed it a week ago, shoot me an email, but,
I kept going online.
yeah,
On the site, on the Oakland site.
Yeah.
And there was this little icon, and I kept punching it, and nothing, it would say, nothing would come up.
yeah.
So finally today, when I saw this, and I saw it was available at the town office,
Yeah.
well, it was 3:00 in the afternoon.
Understand, but yes, that is something that I can do next year, that's no problem at all.
Thank you, good point.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to approve the budget. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Discussion and possible action regarding to schedule a meeting to update the employee handbook.
So I put this on here because we've been talking about it, and now I kind of want to be like, it's been at the top of my list for months, and I figure if we put a date down somewhere, we can try and adhere to that. So I didn't have a specific date in mind.
The 26th at Jean's house.
There better be cookies, that's all I know.
My only
Sorry.
yes to the cookies, no to the 26th. My only request would be is if we can avoid the weeks of, say, the week before Christmas, the week of Christmas, and the week after Christmas, and then the last full week of January, because that will be our busiest property tax collection times, even with just working through the Dropbox and whatever. And I know that kind of narrows it a little bit, but If it stretches into February, I don't think it's a big deal, but there is a possibility of a February election on the 16th. So,
What if we did December 8th? The plan committee is December 1st, we're the 15th.
that would work for me.
Wanna try and get it in this year yet?
This is, the 8th is
The second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday?
second Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Works for me. I mean, we've been trying to get this
Yeah, I
done,
know.
Mm-hmm.
and we just never get to it.
Mhm.
So,
That works for us.
Well, let's try it.
December 8th?
Time?
Special meeting here at
You wanna do
7
seven?
o'clock, 6:30,
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
7?
Whatever works.
Okay.
Okay, correspondence, we got the court dockets. Let's see, page.
Did I give you court dockets? I don't know if I had any.
No, we didn't.
I didn't get any from Mary, so we'll have those next month for you.
And the planning committee minutes?
Didn't have those yet either.
Wait, I thought
No,
I
they're
saw
in.
those.
Or are
No,
they?
they're
Do
there.
you?
They're
They're
there.
in.
I saw those.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
in.
saw
there's
those.
Okay.
Yeah,
Draft.
yeah, there's,
Okay, approved disbursements.
I'll make a motion that we approve the disbursements, beginning with electric funds transfer to the Wisconsin Retirement System, through and including electronic funds transfer 85121227 in the aggregate amount of $56,081.70.
second,
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve disbursements in the amount of $56,081.70. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next meeting date, we got December 8th special meeting, December 15th. Any other announcements? I don't have any.
Was item B under number 6 addressed?
Item D.
Yes. That was
Yep.
number 10.
What are we talking about?
Number
The plan committee resolution. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
that was approved.
mhm.